To successfully clear your clutter forever, you must be willing to dare to dream. Most clutterholics fall into one of two types. Either, given how many times they've tried and failed to clear their clutter in the past, we're afraid to dream about our clutter-free life because we don't believe that we'll be able to succeed, or we spend all our time dreaming about the future and spend no time actually doing the doing and clearing our clutter. Yet human beings are capable of extraordinary things when we set ourselves extraordinary goals and dreams. Doing the doing and refusing to let the challenges we inevitably face stop us achieving our dreams is what makes the difference. Think about man on the moon, COVID-19 vaccines, Rosa Parks, J.K. Rowling, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, Nicholas Winton, Henry Ford, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison, the Mars rover team. The list is endless. Incredible examples of people who dared to dream. In fact, not just dream, but to dream big and make their dreams come true. They dared to dream big and achieved extraordinary things by dealing with and overcoming many challenges that they faced on their way to success. It's easy to read their stories and feel that our dreams are small in comparison, as if our goals and dreams to be completely clutter-free are insignificant compared to what they've contributed to the world and the differences that they've made to millions of people's lives. But our dreams do matter. Before you decide to give up on your clutter-free dream again, let's just have a bit of a reality check and look at 5 things that all these incredible people in historic events have in common that we can learn from and apply to our clutter-clearing dream. So the first thing is failure. They all experienced massive failures on their journey to achieving their dreams. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 major publishers before Harry Potter was accepted by the 13th. Clearly 13 wasn't an unlucky number for her. Henry Ford was made bankrupt twice before launching the Ford Motor Company. Thomas Edison reportedly failed over 10,000 times before inventing the commercial light bulb. When, after 9,000 failed attempts, he was asked by a newspaper reporter if he felt like a failure and if he should give up, Edison apparently replied, "Why would I feel like a failure? And why would I ever give up? I now know definitively 9,000 ways that an electric light bulb will not work. Success is almost in my grasp." And guess what? He was right, despite being 1,000 more attempts away from actually achieving his dream. Walt Disney, who was made bankrupt before he succeeded, was fired from his first job because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. They were wrong. So what can we learn from these extraordinary people? Simple. You are going to fail on your way to achieving the dream, and that's okay. Just don't give up. The second thing all these people have in common and these events have in common is that they learnt from their mistakes. So a year before landing on the moon, Neil Armstrong was almost killed in a simulation of a lunar descent. All the flight controls completely failed, and as a result, he had to test the ejector seat to 200 feet above ground. They estimated that if he had ejected just half a second later than he did, he would have died. So they learned from the mistake that caused the flight controls to fail on that test. They fixed them, and they then did the actual landing on the moon a year later. So what can we learn from this? Failure isn't final unless you quit. As I always say, there's no such thing as failure. There's only ever feedback. The only time we fail is when we fail to learn from the feedback. As J.K. Rowling herself said, it is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. The third thing that these people have in common is patience and persistence. Despite all their failures, none of the people who achieved their dreams gave up. They believed they would succeed eventually. J.K. Rowling had the idea for Harry Potter in 1990. She had just 3 chapters by 1993. By 1995, she had a full script that was being rejected. It was fully accepted in 1996. It took her 6 years from dreaming to completing, and she's probably actioned a fair few other dreams ever since. What can we learn from these people? Stop focusing on the speed and focus on the significance. Trust that you will get there. It will take as long as it needs to take to get you to your goal safely. It matters not how fast you achieve your dream, as long as you're moving forward. The fourth thing is that these people prioritized. The only reason why these people succeeded at achieving their dreams, that they dared to dream, is that they prioritized making time to do the doing. They didn't procrastinate. They didn't give up. They made time to do what was needed to just get a little bit closer to their dream each time. They recognized the significance of each tiny step towards their dream when others around them thought they were mad. J.K. Rowling didn't allow life to get in the way. She had no job, no money. She had a child and she suffered from depression, yet she still prioritized making what time she could to do the doing. In 1996 and 1997, for the sequel, she prioritized time and wrote in a cafe. For the final book in the Harry Potter series, she took herself off to the Balmoral Hotel in Edinburgh for 6 months to focus on and finish the final book. Thomas Edison probably prioritized a fair bit of time to do the doing if he failed over 10,000 times to invent the light bulb. What can we learn from this? Well, if you dare to dream and you're focused on the dream, you'll prioritize making regular time to work on achieving that dream. You may not be able to prioritize as much time as you'd like and as often as you'd like, but some regular time is always better than none. The final thing all these people who dared to dream and successfully achieved their dream did is that they focused on the dream. Walt Disney's dream was to build a theme park where children and adults alike could have fun together. Nicholas Winton's dream was to spare children from the horrors of the Holocaust. Rosa Parks had a dream of freedom and peace. Sir Tim Berners-Lee's dream was for all people to have access to the best information at any time. All successful people have a clear dream, and it's a dream that drives them to keep going after the inevitable failures. It helps them to be patient and persistent. It helps them to see the value of prioritizing time to work towards that dream and learn from their mistakes. Remember, you only need to succeed once. So what's your dream? Click on the link to find out how I can help you succeed with your dream to be completely clutter-free forever.